You're using public funds for something that taxpayer dollars shouldn't be used for.
Henyard says she is endorsing a new board, but not announcing who they are just yet, instead promising to name them later this month. Henyard is under investigation by the FBI.
The arrest of Tiffany Henyard, the self-proclaimed super mayor of Dolton and Thornton Township, has sent shockwaves through the small suburban communities she once pledged to lead with integrity. Just hours ago, the FBI took the controversial leader into custody following a month-long investigation into allegations of corruption and abuse of power. As the news spreads rapidly, rumors and speculation abound, leaving residents and political analysts questioning, how did it come to this?
It's not until 2025, yet Tiffany Henyard has officially decided she wants to stay as mayor despite the cloud of controversy.
Tiffany Henyard, once celebrated as a self-proclaimed champion of the people, now faces allegations of corruption and abuse of power following her arrest earlier today by federal agents who executed search warrants at her home and the Thornton Township offices. Critics argue that behind her flashy turkey giveaways and bold claims of financial surplus lay a pattern of secret deals, financial mismanagement, and coercive tactics aimed at silencing dissenters and consolidating power. Her tenure as mayor of Dolton and supervisor of Thornton Township has been marred by scandals, chaotic public meetings, trustee boycotts, and mounting lawsuits, with recent events like her holiday turkey giveaway dismissed by opponents as desperate distractions. Insiders suggest the FBI investigation includes damning evidence of financial irregularities, questionable appointments, and intimidation of political rivals and business owners, marking the culmination of months of tension and increasingly erratic behavior that has left her community reeling.
Township has this turkey giveaway, so it isn't anything new. Yet some trustees say that Supervisor Henyard, she is using this.
The township's annual turkey giveaway has long been a cherished tradition, but this year, some trustees are accusing Supervisor Tiffany Henyard of using the event as a distraction from deeper issues plaguing the community. Concerns over financial mismanagement under Henyard's leadership are nothing new, as residents have repeatedly voiced frustrations about unexplained budget shortfalls and questionable spending. Among the most alarming expenses is a staggering $43,000 spent on Amazon purchases in a single day, a figure that has raised significant red flags. While Henyard claims these expenditures were essential for the township, programs and community initiatives, critics argue, they reflect a broader pattern of reckless and potentially self-serving financial practices. Detractors suggest taxpayer money is being misused for personal gain rather than public benefit, further evidenced by extravagant out-of-town trips and other dubious expenses. Trustees have questioned how such spending aligns with the township's priorities, especially as residents face ongoing challenges like crumbling infrastructure and insufficient public safety improvements. The lack of transparency surrounding these purchases has only deepened suspicions and fueled calls for accountability. Critics argue that if the funds in question were genuinely used for township programs, there should be detailed documentation and transparent explanations, none of which have been provided. This perceived lack of accountability has fueled skepticism, leading many to believe that Tiffany Henyard's leadership prioritizes personal agendas over community service. While the annual turkey giveaway is a welcome gesture for many families, some view it as a calculated distraction from mounting financial discrepancies. Trustees have raised concerns that Henyard is more focused on staging high-profile events to bolster her public image than addressing the township's pressing financial challenges. Meanwhile, residents question why essential services such as infrastructure repairs and public safety are being neglected while significant sums are spent on seemingly unnecessary items. As scrutiny intensifies, some wonder if this troubling pattern of spending will prompt a deeper investigation into the township's financial practices. For now, the controversy surrounding Henyard's handling of taxpayer funds continues to grow, with trustees and residents alike demanding greater transparency and accountability.
Single resident, pay me what you owe me.
The alleged misuse of funds is just one aspect of the growing controversy surrounding Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, whose leadership style has been described by some as authoritarian. Accusations of intimidation and retaliation have become alarmingly frequent, with critics arguing that her governance is more focused on consolidating power, silencing dissent, and rewarding loyalty than serving the community. A striking example is the case of Lawrence Gardner, a local business owner who alleges his trucking company was shut down after he refused to make repeated political donations to Henyard's campaign. Gardner claims city officials, acting under Henyard's directives, fabricated code violations against his business and ultimately revoked his license when he declined to comply with her demands. Lawrence Gardner's case, he argues, is not an isolated incident but part of a broader pattern of coercion, where businesses are pressured to provide financial support in exchange for favorable treatment. His allegations have drawn significant attention, particularly because, like others who claim to have experienced Tiffany Henyard's alleged strong-arm tactics, Gardner has reportedly provided detailed testimony to federal investigators. This growing list of whistleblowers paints a troubling picture of a leader who allegedly uses her position to punish those who refuse to align with her political ambitions rather than uplift the community. Beyond Gardner, other local business owners and residents have come forward with similar accounts, further intensifying scrutiny of Henyard's leadership practices. Accounts of a climate of fear under Tiffany Henyard's leadership describe a pattern where speaking out against her could lead to sudden inspections, license revocations, or other forms of bureaucratic harassment. These allegations have raised alarm among trustees and community leaders who argue that such tactics are not only unethical, but also erode the foundations of local governance. Meanwhile, federal authorities are reportedly investigating these claims, heightening the pressure on Henyard, who continues to publicly deny any wrongdoing. She has dismissed the accusations as politically motivated attacks designed to discredit her administration. However, the mounting evidence suggests a more troubling reality. As the community closely watches the unfolding events, residents are increasingly demanding accountability and transparency, with the fallout from these allegations threatening to overshadow Henyard's tenure and shape the township's future.
We are not able to pay bills. We are not able to handle the bills.
One of the most contentious issues of Supervisor Tiffany Henyard's administration has been her controversial appointments, particularly the selection of Ronald Burgess as Dolton's police chief. This decision has become a major flashpoint, drawing sharp criticism from both trustees and community members. Burgess, whose state law enforcement certification had lapsed at the time of his appointment, was handpicked by Henyard, despite explicit warnings from the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board, which stated he was ineligible to serve as police chief without proper certification. Trustees have accused Henyard of bypassing established procedures and ignoring protocol to install Burgess, furthering the perception that she values personal loyalty over professional qualifications and the community's welfare. Many view the appointment as a blatant power move, deepening mistrust between Henyard and the township's leadership, who see her actions as an effort to consolidate power by placing allies in key positions regardless of their competence. Critics argue that Ronald Burgess's appointment as police chief is emblematic of a broader pattern in Tiffany Henyard's governance, where key township roles are filled based on allegiance rather than merit. This approach, they claim, has led to inefficiencies and questionable decision-making, undermining the integrity and functionality of local government institutions. The controversy over Burgess's appointment has ignited heated debates during public meetings, with trustees openly questioning both the legality and wisdom of Henyard's decision. They contend that appointing a police chief without proper certification not only jeopardizes public safety, but also exposes the township to significant legal liabilities. Henyard, however, has dismissed these concerns, characterizing the criticism as politically motivated and defending Burgess as a capable leader who brings valuable experience to the role. While Henyard defends Burgess as a leader with valuable experience, the lack of transparency in the appointment process has left many residents uneasy. Some are questioning whether Dolton's law enforcement is being used as a tool for political control, rather than a service dedicated to protecting and serving the community. This situation has further eroded trust in Henyard's administration, with even some of her supporters beginning to express doubts about her leadership decisions. In response, trustees have called for an independent review of the appointment process, demanding accountability and strict adherence to state regulations.
Prevented Supervisor Tiffany Henyard from filing a vacancy on the board. So what is going on and why?
Henyard's controversial appointments didn't stop with the police chief. Earlier this year, she attempted to push through staffing changes without consulting the board, including appointing a new executive assistant and special counsel, appointments that were later overturned by a Cook County judge. These moves were widely criticized as attempts to fill key positions with individuals loyal to her, ensuring her decisions faced no internal resistance. Trustees argued that these appointments violated local ordinances requiring board approval, and in one instance, it was revealed that the appointee lacked even the basic qualifications for the role. The controversy surrounding these staffing decisions only deepened mistrust between Henyard and the trustees, further paralyzing local governance. Adding to the chaos, Henyard has been accused of using township resources as leverage to consolidate her power. Several trustees have alleged that she withheld financial records and even township funds to pressure them into compliance. For example, during one contentious board meeting, she claimed there was over $2 million available for a 100% property tax rebate, fueling suspicions of manipulation. Henyard's claim of a tax refund program promising a 100% property tax rebate sparked further controversy when she refused to provide any documentation on how the program would be funded or implemented. Critics argue that this lack of transparency is a recurring issue in her leadership, where grand announcements are made but follow-up details and funding remain elusive. This behavior has left many residents questioning whether Henyard's promises are genuine or simply calculated distractions from the mounting scandals surrounding her. Tensions have escalated within the township, with Henyard demanding trustees attend board meetings, saying, "I don't care if you agree or disagree, but you must show up to vote yes or no." The clashes have only worsened, and Henyard's relationship with the township's trustees has deteriorated to the point where meetings are often canceled due to a lack of quorum. Trustees, including Gonzalez and Carmen Carlisle, who have boycotted several sessions, argue that attending would be pointless, as it would only enable Henyard's decisions without proper oversight. "We're not going to be part of the circus," Gonzalez said, explaining the decision to skip a recent meeting. Henyard, however, has dismissed the trustees' concerns as baseless, accusing them of obstructing progress for political gain. "I don't even like to use the term stopping the meeting. We just want responsible adult communication and to try to do the right thing by the citizens," she countered. The situation takes a darker turn when considering allegations of retaliation against Henyard's critics. Former allies, including Trustee Carlisle, have come forward with claims of harassment and intimidation. Carlisle, who once worked as Henyard's assistant, now identifies as a whistleblower. In a recent interview, she detailed a pattern of coercion and threats she claims to have experienced, further intensifying the growing concerns surrounding Henyard's leadership. Carlisle described Henyard's behavior as a pattern designed to silence dissent, ranging from public smear campaigns to threats of legal action. "She'll do things that are convenient for her own people but inconvenient for others," Carlisle said, pointing to Henyard's refusal to let her participate in meetings remotely, despite citing safety concerns. Henyard's tactics, however, have reportedly extended beyond politics. Residents have accused her of using local law enforcement as a personal tool to settle scores. Trustee Kiana Belcher, another outspoken critic, claimed Henyard instructed police officers to issue parking tickets while she was out of town, an accusation Henyard has vehemently denied. Even more troubling are allegations that Henyard ordered the removal of campaign banners for rival candidates, going as far as calling the police on workers who were simply following instructions from the village's trustees. "If the board does not show up, we are not able to pay bills, we are not able to handle the business," Belcher said. "If we can't provide food, we won't be able to pay fire bills, we'll be destitute." Tiffany Henyard's behavior grew increasingly erratic, culminating in a recent Facebook Live broadcast where she lashed out at her critics during a rambling 90-minute tirade. In the broadcast, she accused her opponents of orchestrating a power and money grab, promising to spill the tea, but offering no concrete evidence to back her claims. Instead, she doubled down on allegations of being the target of a conspiracy, warning that she would take legal action against those who defamed her. "Rhea and I sue everybody because I'm coming. I will come for everyone," Henyard declared defiantly. Yet, even as the walls closed in, Henyard appeared unfazed. Just days before her arrest, she was seen cleaning snow from the streets, a move critics dismissed as a mere publicity stunt. She also continued to promote her re-election campaign, confidently claiming she would win by a landslide, despite the mounting controversies surrounding her leadership. "They know the truth," Henyard said of Dalton voters, "and I am committed and determined to continue fighting for my village for the next 4 years." But it seems the voters may never get the chance to decide. with Henyard now in federal custody. The future of Dalton and Thornton Township hangs in the balance as residents grapple with the fallout from a scandal that has exposed deep fractures within their local government. Some, like Denise Clark, are calling for unity amid the crisis. If they want to accomplish something, they need to listen to each other, she said. All this not showing up, it's like we're babysitting others. However, for many, Henyard's arrest represents a long overdue reckoning. This is an embarrassment to Dalton, one resident said at a recent public meeting. Why won't she step down? Jason House, who is running against Henyard in the upcoming mayoral race, echoed the sentiment, promising to restore order and transparency to the village. With federal investigators now involved, change may indeed be on the horizon. Federal investigators are reportedly questioning witnesses and gathering evidence, and the case against Tiffany Henyard is expected to expand in the coming weeks. Legal experts predict that the charges could extend beyond the mayor herself, potentially implicating other officials and associates involved in her alleged schemes. Henyard's absence has also prevented the filing of a vacancy on the board, raising further questions about the power plays behind the scenes. With Henyard's future uncertain, the question remains, will she fight the charges in court, or is this the end of her political career? What lessons can Dalton and Thornton Township learn from this saga to prevent history from repeating itself? One thing is clear. The story of Tiffany Henyard is far from over, and the residents of these small suburban communities will be watching closely as the drama unfolds. Should leaders accused of serious allegations step down immediately, or should they be allowed to stay in office while the legal process plays out? What measures can communities take to hold their elected officials accountable? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.